Hi everybody, I've got a very strange instrument here. You won't see many of these in the UK. It's actually come all the way from Calcutta as hand baggage. It was brought over by one of my students who brought it back in a lovely flight case on wheels, which is how he got it back to England. It's called a Mohan Veena, and it basically has 20 strings. We get students bring guitars in with 8 strings. This one's got 20 guys, so we've won that competition. Let's have a little look at it. Here I've got my hand. We have a wooden gourd which you get on sitars and other Indian instruments. It serves no function whatsoever, nothing to do with the sound. It's just decoration. We had it fitted extra because it was a fun thing to do and it looks really cool. Up here we have our main machine heads. We actually have 8 of them, 4 each side, but there's only actually 7 strings there. That tuner there doesn't actually do anything, it's just to balance the look. Here we've got a scratch plate made out of tonwood, which they use for sitars as well. And then this part here is just like a deep body jazz guitar. It has what looks like a spruce top, F holes. It has a movable bridge. This is deer bone. This is the bridge for the lower sympathetic strings. And let's have a look at the strings. I went on the internet to try and find out how to tune one of these, and I also spoke to the manufacturer, and they said you're on your own basically. All the players tune it differently. The players that use it for Indian music would tune it for the rag they're actually playing. But what I've done is I found it's very convenient to go D, A, and then D again. Now the one instruction I did find online said that they definitely have 2 of the main playing strings tuned the same, and then the second string there tuned different. So what I've done is I've done D, A, D. And then here I've got 5 more drone strings, and I've tuned them A, D, A again, D, and a very high D, an octave higher. So I'll say that again. So if you're tuning this, if you've just got hold of one of these, this is one way of tuning it. It's not the only way, but it's what I found practical. So you've got D, A, D. These are your top layer of strings, by the way. And then I've got A, D, A, D, D. Okay. Now the strings underneath. Good luck with these guys. What's supposed to happen is when you play a string, an open string, you notice that if he picks it up on this microphone, I've stopped the string, but you're going to see a lot of sympathetic vibration from the strings below. So you get a lot of ringing on, and that's like a sitar. Sitar does exactly the same. It has a lot of sympathetic strings. Now, in theory, you should tune those strings to the scale that you're using. What I did, I made sure, I'm going to take my finger picks off to do this, that string there, my bottom the D string, I've got the bottom sympathetic string, the one nearest to the pick guard, is tuned to D. The next one is a semitone lower. Then there's another one tuned to D. And then I've gone up sort of chromatically and I end up on a high D there. One little booby trap on this instrument to watch is that when you're tuning these sympathetic strings, the high, the one nearest to you, is actually that tuner there. So it's not up on the top here like you were hoping. It's sort of most of the way down the neck. So watch out for that one when you're tuning. If you're tuning this one up here thinking you're doing your bottom top that string, you're not. Okay, so you've got to locate where it is. I'm sure there's variation on the instruments as well. Okay, so you have a slide like a bottleneck. This is a heavy metal bar. It has got no hole in it to put your finger in. It's just a slider basically. Let's hear what our sound's like. You've got your drone. So you get some really good blues sound out of it, and that's mainly what most Western guitars are going to use it for. Okay, so hopefully a lot of my so that's the sort of sound. One other interesting sound you can get, and I don't know what the microphone would do on this, if you go and pop a harmonic on what's probably the 12th fret, but certainly halfway up your string you can get an octave harmonic like that. But then what you do is you slide, you put it on the bridge and you slide it up. Let's try it, see if we can get it to work. I'll try that again. So you get an octave harmonic on the slide, which you can do that on a bottleneck guitar. It's quite difficult. This one actually does it quite well. I didn't do so well that time ago. One more. Okay, so I hope the microphone picked it up. Anyway, so in September we're going to be running some bottleneck classes. We're going to be using more traditional slide guitars, nationals, dobras, that type of thing, and we're going to be introducing students to bottleneck blues. But we just thought we'd just show people this. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, guys.